my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Eliana and this is Vibe Check. So today on Vibe Check, I wanted to talk about anxiety in the workplace. So for those of you who have jobs, whether you're in corporate America or the restaurant industry, you could be a bartender, you could be a teacher, anywhere that you work and you suffer from any kind of mental health issues, it doesn't have to be extreme. It can really affect your career and your work and how you do things and how you perceive things. And I wanted to take some time today to just talk about my experiences with anxiety in the workplace and a couple tips and tricks that have worked for me. So when you're at work and you have anxiety, it does make things a little bit more difficult. So for example, you tend to feel judged way more often than maybe another person would. For example, if your boss comes in and you say something to them and they're kind of short with you and rude and a little like standoffish, for someone who is, doesn't suffer from anxiety, they're just like, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day, it's a bad morning, let me give them some space. However, when you suffer from anxiety, it can turn that interaction and kind of just, perpetuate it, make it bigger than what it is. And so you start thinking, oh no, what have I done? Did I do something to offend them? Are they mad at me for some reason? And you just kind of go down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out what you did wrong, when in actuality, you probably didn't do anything wrong. But of course, your anxiety is making you think that this is such a bigger situation than what it is. And it's really difficult to deal with that on a daily basis. With that also comes a feeling of inadequacy. You don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like you're struggling to be good for everyone, and you don't feel like you're working to your best potential. And people with anxiety actually tend to be perfectionists, like myself. And what that means is it's not really an OCD thing. It's more so I want to be the best at what I'm doing. I want to be really good at it. And I'd like people to notice how, that I'm good at my job. And when you have anxiety, you can start to feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it can really affect you. It can affect your confidence. It can affect your work ethic and your work output, and it's hard to deal with. Another place where anxiety can rear its ugly head at the workplace is the need for inclusion, friendships. You want to communicate with the people around you. You want to make sure that you have a harmonious kind of bond and relationship. And when you have anxiety, it can make that really difficult. So, let's say you have some people that you like and they went to lunch without you. It's so simple. Most people wouldn't think twice about it. You just assume, okay, they got hungry and got lunch. But if you have anxiety, that situation can turn into, they don't like me. Why didn't they invite me? Did I say something to offend them? Are they mad at me? Oh, again, you go down this spiral of emotions when in fact they were just hungry and dipped to get food. It has nothing to do with you. They weren't even thinking about you in that way. They were just hungry. But of course, with anxiety, there are weird noises. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Of course, with anxiety, you take one experience and you blow it up tenfold. It's way bigger than maybe what it really is. You just want the people you like to like you back. Everyone wants to be liked. It's not just people who suffer from anxiety or depression or anything like that. Everyone wants to be liked, but when you have anxiety, you think about it more than other people might. So all that leads into questioning people's motives and their actions. You start to wonder if they did what they did because of something that you did. So for example, you're in a meeting with a bunch of people and your boss says something, anything, right, to the whole group, or your coworker says something that you think is a little standoffish or just weird in general. They say something super strange and you're just like, oh, okay, now there's like a weird vibe. Am I making up this vibe in my head? Or is this something that's really happening? You can start to question, anything that your boss might say to you or your coworkers might say to you, or situations that arise. You look and think about it and you analyze it way deeper than maybe the average person would. You start to try to break things down and figure out things that maybe there's nothing to figure out, or if there is, it has absolutely nothing to do with you and you don't need to be sure. But for me, I tend to overthink things. I'm such So I'm filming and my kids are asleep and I keep hearing a toy and I don't know what's happening. Okay, I found the culprit. It was a weird toy that was being pressed on in their toy box. That was terrifying. Moving on. You start to question people's motives and you start to dig into it and you drive yourself insane, overthinking and trying to figure out, how did we get from point A to point Z, when really there's nothing to connect. There's nothing there. You're driving yourself insane and you're overthinking the situation, and it makes working hard. It makes, focusing on your job and your duties a little bit more difficult. I had to fix and rearrange things because it was crazy. But anywho, anxiety can lead you to question people's motives and really try to tear things apart and get to the bottom of things that don't exist. They aren't real. It never happened, or the situation isn't as extreme as your brain has led you to believe. You start to wonder, this person said this thing. Is that directed to me or about me? It really does make you, kind of just drive you a little crazy because you're just overthinking everything all the time. And it makes doing your job that much harder because you can't give 100% of yourself. You can't give 100% of your attention to this thing because you're so busy worrying about all these other things that aren't actually topics, they aren't actually issues. So these are things that I absolutely deal with on a daily basis when I'm working, and I have come up with a couple simple tips and tricks that really have helped me get through, power through it and get through the day, and has helped me, really work on my career trajectory and getting to where I want to be professionally. Okay, so I have 5 tips for you today. Tip number 1, get you a person.
You are my person. You will always be my person.
This person is going to be your confidant, and they need to be someone that you trust, you feel comfortable talking to, you feel comfortable kind of bearing your soul to. I know this may be difficult if you've just started at a job, but I have managed, luckily, to find a person at each of my workplaces that I've been where I feel like I can really use them as my confidant. And this person's gonna give you some perspective on life. Well, okay, maybe not life, but they'll give you perspective on your emotions that you're feeling at work. I like to use my person when, I'm feeling a weird vibe from someone. I will ask them like, hey, do you feel this vibe too, or am I just like overanalyzing it? And they can be like, yeah, nah brah, you're crazy. Or, yeah, I totally got that vibe too. Let's figure this shit out together. They're really great for bouncing ideas off of, for, if you have like a presentation, do it in front of them. If you have some ideas that you want to bring up to, your boss or your peers, bounce it off of them first. Let them, poke some holes in it and give you some feedback. They're gonna be really great to put everything into perspective for you. They're gonna be able to, let you know if your anxiety is making things up, or if these are actual feelings or situations that are happening and that you need to deal with. Numero dos. This is gonna be a little harder depending on your relationship with your manager, but I definitely, or your supervisor or whoever you report to, I definitely say, have those conversations with them. Ask them, what am I excelling at? What do I need to work on? Is there anything that, you want to tell me or that I need to, fix? anything like that, because it's worse for you to sit there and mull over it and try to figure out what you're doing. It's just so much easier if you go straight to the source, you go straight to your manager, boss, supervisor, head charge, lead person, and ask what's going on, what can I do better, what am I doing amazing at, because they're going to give you that insight and you can stop trying to figure things out on your own. Number 3, if you're a leader, and this is really for people if you're in a leadership type position, anonymous quizzes are amazing. I love using these to get feedback from my people on how I'm doing, because it gives them a safe space to portray this information to you. Usually in face-to-face, they don't feel as comfortable because at the end of the day, you're their boss, right? And they don't want to offend you or make you feel bad, or they're scared of retaliation or something along those lines. So when you do an anonymous quiz, it gives them a nice safe space to really express how they're feeling. And it could be all good things, who knows? You're gonna get more truthful feedback that way, and that can again stop you from wondering, do they like me? Am I a shitty boss? Or am I a cool mom? Sorry. Am I a bad boss, or am I a good boss? Or, am I a good boss who can work on some things? Or am I a great boss and I'm actually killing it? This is really gonna give you that insight. Again, doesn't really work in every type of industry, but for those of you who can do that, I definitely do recommend it. Number 4, challenge yourself. If you are questioning a motive or an action or anything that you want to do, just do it.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!
If you have an idea that you're scared to share it, because that's going to help you build confidence in yourself. And confidence is one of the things that really does combat anxiety in the workplace. If you're confident in what you do, your capabilities, and your intelligence, then you're really gonna fight that anxiety at work, because you're gonna be too busy killing it and being a boss to even worry about that type of stuff. So if you're questioning anything, I say just
Do it!
challenge yourself to think outside the box and just, do something that you normally wouldn't do, because really great things can come from that. And this kind of loops back. There's so much saliva in my mouth. This kind of loops back to my number 1, your person. Feel free to bounce these ideas off of them. If you have an idea that you're scared to pitch to your boss or to your team or peers, bounce that off of your friend. Have them give you feedback. They're gonna say like, oh yeah, that's an amazing idea, please, or oh, maybe that's not the best, and here's why. That's why that person is there. They are there to support you and to give you, what's the word? Perspective on those thoughts and ideas. And number 5. Number 5 is kind of a cliche, but I really do think it helps, and that is mindful meditation or or yoga, if that's your thing. I've tried it. I didn't do very well. I want to keep trying, but that's another video. I find that mindful meditation really helps me zone in and break down my day. I like to do it right before bed, because that's the optimal time for me to kind of sit down in silence and break my day down and really figure out, is this an accurate feeling? Was I overthinking things here? Did I overreact here? Did I underreact here? I can really break down my day and silence out all of those thoughts, and I can maybe compile the things that maybe I want to review with my person, and put that in a little box, and that way, I feel good, I feel calm, and I'm kind of resetting myself for the next day, because anxiety is one of those things that can travel. And if you were anxious on Monday and you don't decompress and you bring that into Tuesday, by the time you get to freaking Thursday, you're a hot mess. So it's really important that at the end of every day, you clear out and you refresh and you reset for the next day so that you can be your best self. So those are my 5 tips on how to deal with anxiety in the workplace. I really do hope that you use these tips, and if you do use them and they work, please let me know. Comment down below. If you have tips of your own, comment down below. I'm always looking for better tips or more tips. It's really helpful. I am not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. I have no PhDs, I have no Ps, I have no Hs, I have no Ds, I have none of that. So of course, always talk to your physician if you're looking to make any changes, or if you think you need help. It is okay to ask for help, but don't ask for help on the internet. Go to a licensed person. It could be a PCP or a psychiatrist, or what's the third one? Psychiatrist, psychologist. Good job, Ileana. There's a slew of people who have gone to school for many, many years to help you out. Go talk to them, get out of here. Get out, no, wait, don't, come back, I'm not done. I do recommend seeing someone if you're looking for help, but these tricks, they don't require any kind of medical license to do, and they're really helpful. They help me out at least, and I hope they help you. I hope you guys like these videos, my vibe check series. There will be a new video every Friday, and I will be talking about how my anxiety affects me in different aspects of my life, and I hope that you guys can relate. Well, I don't hope you can relate because it's a terrible thing, but if you do relate, I hope that you can benefit from these videos. Let me know if you like them or not. Let me know if, there's a specific part of your life that you deal with anxiety that you want me to talk about. I'd be happy to do so. Of course, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends and families, anybody who you think could benefit from this video. Yeah, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, stars. Excuse me. I'm so hungry. Do you like this art? I made it. I made this art. This is not my original character. This was a Draw This in Your Style challenge on Instagram. I will actually put the original character's creator, that was a lot of words, down below. But I just wanted to show this off. Seriously, this video is gonna have like 9 different angles and edits because I've had to stop to refilm so many times. Okay. Bitterness. I'm so hungry and thirsty. There's a lot happening in my life right now. I swear to God, if this is not safe, I would just spit everywhere.